Welcome back to Brick Girl. My name is Brittany, and before I begin this video essay, I wanted to give a huge thank you and a welcome to all those peeps who've come on over from Cosplay Chris's channel. He recently did a review of my cosplay documentary titled Hot Glue, which you can watch on my channel. But before I go any further, thank you so much Cosplay Chris for doing that one for me. Now into the video essay. And be warned, there are plenty of spoilers ahead. In 2018, the world was reintroduced to Lara Croft on the silver screen. Played by Ex Machina star Alicia Vikander, the actress brought the rebooted 2013 Lara Croft to life brilliantly and possibly helped create one of the best video game adaptations ever. Besides Mortal Kombat.
This is not good.
For the most part, I love this film. There is an amazing build-up with the initial chase scenes and the forest fight where we witness her kill for the first time. Now that scene in and of itself should have its own video. However, no matter how stock standard the villain is, and let's face it, sometimes stock standard is all that's really needed, the failings of this Tomb Raider began when her father, Richard Croft, was revealed to be alive. Death fake-outs to me are one of the worst go-to tropes for film twists. We can see other death fake-outs in Aquaman with Queen Atlanta, which, given is in the comics, all the way to films like How to Train Your Dragon 2 with Hiccup's mum Volker. The fake-outs in these two cases are because the mothers can't return to their families due to external forces. But there are other fake-outs in television where there is an emotional build-up to a lead character's death which is unfortunately completely wasted. For example, we have Daredevil aka Matt Murdock at the end of Defenders, who was crushed under a building with Elektra. However, because another season of Daredevil was set to be released, the death was like an empty gesture. The exception to this would be Peter Parker and the like at the end of Infinity War. We know that due to Marvel's history, very few characters actually die. That's why Loki's death held very little magnitude when Thanos killed him. But the film's ending is so well written that even though we know the good guys will eventually win, the audience feels the defeat alongside Tony and Steve. But with Tomb Raider, the death fake out for Richard Croft undermines the lore and was an obvious attempt to give Lara something she could only lose. Lara Croft's fortune and extensive learning is what makes her a fascinating character. She has millions to spend and the chance to solely live a life of wine parties and luxurious travel, which, I mean, sign me up. But despite her loss and lucrative funds, she fights to continue her father's legacy. It's the death of her father that sends her on this path, and it's the moment I would like to call the hero's crime alley. Remove the death of Bruce Wayne's parents in Crime Alley and you don't get Batman. Remove the death of Richard Croft and you don't get Tomb Raider. Back to 2018's Tomb Raider, Richard Croft was planted in the story as a thorn in the villain's side and to become another stake to Lara's survival. And after Lara finds her dad, the only logical thing from here as a writer is to kill him off. Let's build a hypothetical right here. With her father alive, beyond the island, Lara doesn't continue his legacy in defending the world's history against Trinity. She'd probably just continue her studies, content that her father didn't die. This just isn't a story. A story is made up of conflict. Something has to go wrong and mess up the hero's plans, and a story is nothing without it. Heck, even Itsy Bitsy Spider had conflict. Curse that rainy day! So Richard had to die, which in turn makes his death fake out an empty gesture. Now, let's look at Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft from 2001, where Richard Croft was played by Jolie's real-life father, Jon Voight. Personally, I love this film, mostly because I watched it a lot as a child. And in comparison to 2018's film, 2001 handled Richard's death much better. Angelina Jolie plays a more mature Lara Croft, who's been there and done that. But behind the motorbike jackets, incredible bank account, and bungee ballet, Jolie's Croft still mourns her father. It's the essential motivation behind all of her escapades, and it's what's keeping her on the side of good. Because it both upholds Richard's legacy while keeping her from facing the pain that really comes from losing her father. Which leads to her hidden agenda to find and use the golden artifact in the 2001 film despite the consequences. She has the chance to change time and get her father back. She could undo all the pain and lost moments, but she could also undo time itself. And under her father's advice, in a place I'd liken to limbo, she chooses the world over her own pain. This story arc aided to Croft's character development, showed she was capable of evil, but was also too magnanimous to truly follow through. It also allowed her closure without undoing the video game lore. A character's death should always weigh on other characters and the audience. It can be a great motivation and it allows for incredible character-defining moments. Whereas death fake-outs have the potential to strip these elements away. They easily become cliches and they just feel like empty gestures or lazy plot devices. So when it comes to 2018's Tomb Raider, even with its incredible scenes, the story began to stagger across the finish line with the unnecessary resurrection of Richard Croft. The permanence of his death could have led to an incredible revenge arc to test her morality with a defining heroic act of resisting evil. But instead, we have a fake-out designed only to pull the rug out from under Lara and return the character back to the start of her emotional journey. What about you guys? What do you think? Are there any death fake-outs you thought aided to the story? Or what about some that were obvious from the get-go? Pop your thoughts in the comments below, like, subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brittany, and you have been watching Brick Girl.